All right, folks, looks like that pump is over. Now it could still return and try to pump further. But just based on what I've seen lately, that high is 66,000. You know, if you're on different exchanges and using different trading pairs, so these numbers will be a little different. But you know, about 66,900, give or take. I'll go down in the hourly. We'll see exactly. This is going to be a quick little video because not a whole lot's changed, but I do want to show you what I think is likely happening right now down in the hourly. And one thing I want to say in my last video, so like sometimes I make videos and then after I publish them, I'm like, oh, I should have said this and I should have said that. So these white horizontal lines are lines of support and resistance, and how I get them here is on the daily chart. So in my last video, I said this is the last line of resistance on my chart up here at the top, right above my bull extension. And then after I made that video, I was like, well, that's not true. You know, I should have said something different, you know, because there's all these lines up here, like put one here at the top of this little range here on this top. Like there would be probably a resistance, and this is probably a resistance, and you know, this one could be a resistance. That's a pretty good spot for resistance. So there's lots of resistance on the way up. I was just talking about that big macro pattern you see there. Let me take all these out. The only one I'm going to leave here is the all-time high. See that horizontal line on top is the all-time high. It's the wick here. On the way up, there will be resistance, right? It'll pump up there and then come down and break it and pump up and break it and dump down and break it and dump down and break another one, dump down, come up, break. That's how it works. But on the macro scale, you know, the $9,000 move from here is going to, you know, go like that. Of course, it's not going to be a straight line, right? It's going to go like this, right? I don't want to sit here and make these, you know, line. I can just draw a line in a half a second. And so, you know, I start thinking about things I said, and like, well, that's not necessarily true, but anyways. So anyway, this is still a macro bullish channel. And real quick, another thing I need to say is the yellow triangle, the pink descending wedge, the orange bull pennant. Those three, I'm not really so much looking at as analysis. I'm just kind of looking at that for experience and to see how they end up playing here. The real thing I'm looking at is this channel, the green descending channel. Let's go down to the hourly chart. In my last video, for those of you that paid attention, or for those of you that care, and somehow I've got a gap in there on that bull extension again. It gets annoying, and somehow these move. So let me fix that real quick. Somehow they move, and I think sometimes as a function of my computer and I'm using a 55-inch television as a monitor. I don't know if that's got something to do with it, but see how that's moved? See that? I just moved it earlier too. Now let's put it back there. Okay. Sometimes things move on my chart. Let that be known. If you see something funky, that could be what's going on. Okay, so here you see the yellow, the pink, and the orange lines on those charts, or those patterns I was showing. And that I'm just kind of using that for experience. Like I said, that's not really part of my analysis here, like I said. And so in my last video, before I start going down a rabbit hole, let's just get to the point. My last video, this is the hourly chart. I talked about, personally, I was looking to put in a short up here when I just, you know, just by gut and eyeball, I see these pump, but, you know, also analysis. This is I'll put the link to my last video down in the description. Right? It came up here and bounced, or I got rejected off this resistance area here. If you want to know why this is a resistance area, go down in the description and watch my last video. The link is there, and watch my last video. I don't have to repeat it and make this video too long. So I was talking about, personally, you know, I was looking to put in a short above 66,000, and I did do that after I made the video. And I sat here for basically the whole evening. You know, for a long time, I sat here and just watched it kind of play even and up and down. And then, I get right through here. I just had to go to sleep. It was time to go to sleep. So I closed it down for a $2 loss. Right, it's not even. It just kind of as even. And it was a day trade, and I didn't want to go to sleep with a day trade open, because the possibility of this being the real breakout, right? This whole macro breakout, and this does go up to 74,000 and consolidates and goes to 80, right? I'm not leaving a short open with that possibility. But then I woke up and I said, well, you know what? If I just left it open, I'd have been good. But I can't leave that stuff open. I don't take chances like that anymore. It's an 11x trade. So, but anyways, so what we're dealing with here is this could be a double top action. This could be a double top. There's a top. There's a top. And if that's the case, now that doesn't have to be the case, but if that's the case, what I'm looking for, and this, I tried to make this before this red candle showed up here. The candle just opened 9 minutes ago. If that's the case, if that is a double top, then watch for this to be a dead cat bounce, and boom, right? Watch out for that action right there. That's my analysis from my last video as well. Is I thought this was going to come down, but that's you can't be positive. These two white horizontal lines here are a little under 35, a little over 35,000, and Bitcoin currently has come down and bounced off the bottom white line and has come back and it's getting rejected by the top white line. So watch out for that being a dead cat bounce. And it doesn't have to be. I'm going to go down the 5-minute chart real quick after I say what I got to say here. But on the hourly chart, while we're here, I want to show you, it's real easy to draw in small scale parallel channels on the 5-minute chart. And I'm going to go down there and I'll show you something real quick after I show you this right now. So I call this my kaleidoscope system. And back to the left here, it was just patterns on top of patterns on top of patterns. I just erased them all because they're not relevant anymore. And why did I leave this red one in here? And this is something you should just learn to do yourself. And it seems complicated, but it's just experience. And if I can just point out a few things to you, then you'll know how to, I can just make you skip a bunch of wandering around in the wilderness, not knowing what's going on, right? And for those of you that have more experience than me, I don't mean to talk down to you. I just like talking to try to help people maybe. And why am I leaving this red one here? Because I talked about this possibly being a dead cat bounce. A dead cat bounce would come up here. Well, first of all, if it's a dead cat bounce, now I was putting in that big red candle there, but it could still bounce back up. This could either it just got rejected at that top white line right now where it's coming down from, or it comes back up here. See that, and it gets rejected from that heart line, from that area of resistance here, right? And then comes down. Maybe it just goes sideways here for a day. Who knows for sure. But if you're looking for action, this and you want to know what could be happening, this is some fairly common stuff I see over and over and over. So what I'm going to do with this channel here is I'm just going to extend it. I'm going to extend it, keep it exactly where it should be, which is it doesn't have to be exact, but I'm looking. What I'm looking at right here is this here and this here. I'm just keeping those exactly where they're at on that line, and so it's going to be right about there. That looks about good. So now you can see probably. Now you can see, well, why would he leave that pattern there? Well, if this is a dead cat bounce, where's it going to bounce? Where's it going to end up? And I would say if it makes it past these white lines, the $35,000 area, if it comes through there, then watch the top of the red channel as support, and if it breaks down through here, boom, watch the bottom of it for support, right? And then if it breaks down here, boom, and we're probably looking at this white line here at 61,800. Or back down here at the 68,000, and then see what I've drawn right there is a fractal. Is something that happens over and over and over in Bitcoin, and I'm just kind of wondering why they happen. And I don't know everything, and like I say, I'm leaving this yellow, purple, and orange lines in there on the macro scale to just see if there's interaction with them. And I'm gonna go down the 5-minute chart and show you that. But see that, not to zoom out, and just what does your eyeball and your brain tell you about that line I just drew in? What does that fit in at all? Does it go back here to the left and just follow this with your eyes, just up and down, all this choppy, all this action, not choppy, but all this action, and then see what I just drew in there? Does that look like it could be possible? Just what does your mind's eye tell you? What does your mind's eye tell you? Now I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that's pretty good. Right, that's looking pretty good to me. I do think this is going to end up back down. This pump here, Lots of times when it pumps up real rapidly, this green guy here, lots of times it'll come up here and go sideways, maybe up a little, maybe down a little, put in a double top, triple top, flat top, round top, Batman top. Oh, Batman's top. That's kind of a Batman right there. That's a Batman top right there, actually. Now I think about it. I erased all these lines. I used to call them Batman tops, and now we've actually got a legitimate Batman top, and I'm not saying anything about it. But you got my point, right? And why is that happening? Well, that's probably good reason. But let's zoom in. That's Batman. We got a Batman top, possibly a Batman top, and I'm not talking about it. I always call other ones Batman tops, and then everyone's like, "Why do I call him Batman?" That's Batman. Look, see his ear, his left ear, his right ear. His head's kind of missing. He should have kind of a little head here, but that's pretty good though. His ears are there. Batman top, double top ear. There we go. All right, so anyway, that's kind of fun. And let's see. Let's go down the 5-minute chart. I'm going to show you something before I go here. This was supposed to be just a 2 or 3 minute video. It's going to get longer, isn't it? But this is valuable information. What I want to show you here is, okay, well, first of all, like I said, I'm just kind of doing an experiment with the yellow on the macro scale. This yellow line is the descending triangle. The pink is the descending wedge, and the orange is the bull pennant. Everything on here on the macro scale is very bullish pattern. So they're just very bearish why they happen. But the pop out, the breakout to the upside, it eventually should be a strong dude. But I just want to see, is there, how is that? How's my orange bull pennant looking? Well, look at that. You can't get any better than that as resistance. I mean, it's literally right in the middle of the line. And then what does it do? It comes back down and bounces off the yellow triangle. Right? And then what does it do? It also comes up and purple wedge line is perfect support, right? And it comes back down, and the yellow holds the support, and then kind of comes back up to the purple, and it's kind of in between them now. And now it's a breakthrough, and it comes all the way up here to this white horizontal line. Look at that. And for this is the 5-minute chart, right? And one 5-minute candle bounces perfectly off the orange line. 5-minute candle bounces perfectly off the purple line. Then the orange line's resistance for 20 minutes, half hour, and then it breaks through there. So this whole section here tells me that, yeah, right? What I'm watching there is worthwhile to be watching. And now I'll just add that to my toolbox. And the reason I'm showing this to you is just for your, I can probably advance your learning by months, if not years, if you're new. And, at least give you something to look at, because there's a lot to take in. It's just experience and observation over time. And one last thing before I go. So if I just had to make a bet, I would make a bet. Like I said, my very first analysis, just my gut tells me some sort of dead cat bounce, no matter if it comes up a little further or falls from here, no matter where it falls to, I think that's probably a dead cat bounce. Now I'm not betting on that, right? I'm not trading that. Now I'm going to watch it. And where I would trade it is if it comes up here. If I'm watching later tonight and I see the price come back up here and get into this resistance area, and you should watch my last video if you didn't see that. If it comes back up here to this resistance, that's when I would probably look to enter a short. Now I'm still leery to watch out for the pop up, but I'm a lot less leery about the pop up now. But that doesn't mean it can't still happen. So be careful. And like day trading, you should use stop losses. I didn't put a stop loss in my trade last night I talked about, because I figured it was probably going to pump up and I would get stopped out regardless. So my last trade, I just played even. I was like, for $2, I just took a swing at, hitting the grand slam, right? In case it fell hard then. But this could fall hard. This could come all the way back down to 60,000, 24 hours, 48 hours. It could be right down to 60,000, maybe 59,000. That's the potential here. And there's also a potential, like I said, for the upside. The breakout from this green channel upwards would be right basically at the old all-time high. It would be about 74,000 would be the target. And that's interesting, the correlation there right now at this specific amount of time. So the specific time. And so let me get rid of I want to leave that one there because I want to end the video showing what I drew there. And again, I already showed it, of course, but I just want to show you how to do this. This is the 5-minute chart. Now on Robinhood on my smartphone, they use a 5-minute line chart, and it's real easy to see these. Lots of times I'll be watching Robinhood on my phone while I'm out on my motorcycle working. I do a lot of DoorDash and stuff. And if you're looking for fast capital, I would say Uber Eats and DoorDash and Grubhub. You could go out and make $100-$200 in a session if you want some money. But let's not get sidetracked. It's good to have that. That's maybe that's what your project is, right? You have your normal job, and then all the money. You pick up a side gig. It doesn't have to be food delivery. Lots of side gigs these days, and anyways, it's good fast money. You can get paid right away. And so what I wanted to show you here is how I draw in these channels. So let's you look at that. You look at this double top, this Batman top here, and you say, I can look at it now. There's just parallel channel after parallel channel. There's just this whole thing. It's just a series of parallel channel patterns. And when you start to, maybe someone just needs to show it to you, right? And I wish someone would have showed me something like this. Like, look, the most obvious one. Let's just start here. There's even one here, and there's one here, and there's one down here. But let's just start here. Look at the obvious one. You pick up those straight lines with your eyes. See that? And then just extend it out here like so. And I got my magnet on, but let's just put it here. I got my magnet on. I want to do this quick. So these aren't perfect, right? So there's kind of one there, and it's kind of a breakout. See, it breaks out to the top, and why is that red? Because it points up. So the probability says it's bearish, and that's a common sight, and that's what this whole bull. If you watch my last video, I was talking about the bull trap extension. See on top of that right there. See these two guys? Let's just use a trend line and connect these. It's not perfect. It's not parallel, but it's close. See that? Let's turn him red. I just want to show you this. This is the part that's fascinating, right? And I can bring it down a little bit. Let's bring it down for your eyes. Well, let's just leave it there. That's not perfectly parallel, but I would bet that. Anyways, you see what I'm saying, right? That's a very common thing I see, right? The price will come up out of a parallel channel and then come crashing right back down through. See how that works? And that one eventually did break down, right? There's a bearish one that broke down, and then there's one here, and they're just all over the place. They're just all over the place. Where do you mean there's one here? Well, there's one right there. There's one. See that one? Did you see that one? Right? See that one? That's a green one because it points down. So probability says it's a bullish. What happens? Oh, yep, broke up. Look at that. See that? That's amazing, huh? And then very rarely does Bitcoin ever go perfectly sideways in a flat range. They usually are descending or ascending channels, but technically it doesn't really matter. But so this one, as I say that, this one, there's one actually right there. That's pretty much a range right there. That one goes pretty much horizontal. So we'll just leave him green. I don't know. We should probably turn him like white or something because he's horizontal. But anyways, the breakdown out of there. What is the breakdown from that range there at the top? What is that? Can you see it yet? I just want to show you this because this is when you see something like this for the first time. Things really get cool. So, and then of course, it's just experience, right? You just simply you see me ignoring some of these data points that are above or below the patterns. Right? Boom! Look at that one. See that one? Did you see that one? Right? That one's green because it points down, and there's that common attribute, whatever big fancy word I'm trying to use. This guy here, look at that. It also happens the other way around. It dumped out, right? It dumped out. Let's extend this down so you can see it better. Dumped out. Boom. Look at that. Dumped out. So, nope. Fakey fake. And it breaks out the top, right? And so now where are we? It broke out the top. It came down for the retest, and it's breaking up. And I kind of thought this might come up a little further, but it is coming down. That's kind of that fits in with what I was saying earlier. This could still this could still turn around and try to make another run up here at resistance before the dump. Now it doesn't have to dump, you know. This isn't any guarantee, right? And I'm still learning learning where to place my trade and where to get out of my trades, right? See, I'm not all the way there yet, but my charting ability, I do believe, is getting pretty dang good. And right now where I'm at personally is learning how to just get efficient at when to place a trade. Like for example, you know, I think this is probably a dead cat bounce, and let's zoom back out to the hourly. And oh, by the way, the new action you're seeing there is also forming a parallel channel, most likely. Just need probably 20 more minutes to see or whatever. But you know, so for example, I'm talking about I need to get more efficient on where to place trades. So right now, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a dead cat bounce at some point. But do I get in now? Do I put my short in now? This is the stuff I'm working on, you know, personally, and it's just a good way for me to make videos, and for you is to talk about what I'm doing personally. So should I put my short in now? Right? Obviously, at the start of this video is probably maybe where I should have done it because it was up here, right, before this red candle formed. But you know, maybe, you know, should I do it now? Should I put my short in now? I'm pretty sure I'm going to be correct that it's going down, but it's going to come up first, right? And there's still a possibility it comes up here, right? And so, you know, this market will rip you apart if you're not super careful. You know, should I put a short in now and put a stop loss up here, or should I wait and see if it's going to bounce? And should I put a short in up here? You know, when it comes up and test resistance, but what if it doesn't come with test resistance, right? You know, and then what if it comes down here, right, and it starts bouncing? Should I put in a long end down here and you know, try to see if it's going to bounce? Or, you know, that's the stuff I'm working on personally. But that pattern I drew there, let's reset the chart in the video. I'm sorry this got kind of long-winded, but it's just fun to talk about. And for those of you still watching right now, I sure do appreciate you watching. I'm just going to end this video by zooming out on what I believe to be a coming dead cat bounce, right? And I just need to learn how to trade it, right? I just need to learn how to trade it. That if that, I mean, does that not fit? Does that everything I showed at the beginning in this, you know, does that not look like it fits to your mind's eye? Just looking at it, does that not look pretty darn good? Does that not fit in with basically everything you see all the way back from the start of March? All this price action in here. Does that not fit? And it's going to basically be forced to do something like that. And the only other option is that it breaks out and it comes up here and starts testing the old all-time high. Right now, it's not going to be a straight line. It would, you know, do like this, but you know, that's basically the other option, right? Other than that, you know, it's pretty much got forced. It's going to be forced to dump. Other than that, but I'll let you go. Have a good day. Later. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, do all that stuff.